Chapter 91. I Am Yours. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 91. I Am Yours. Chi Weiner was extremely excited that at the same time, she forgot that Qin Haodong was very weak at this time, who needed to hold the wall even when he walked. Therefore, he was unable to bear her hold. As expected, Qin Haodong directly fell down on the ground as his genius Qi was depleted. Due to the lack of mental preparation, Chi Weiner followed and fall down on the body of Qin Haodong. Under the inertia effect, her body flipped toward a little and her chest, especially the biggest place, heavily covered his face. Ah! Are you okay? Qi Xiao realized that Qin Haodong had been injured and quickly climbed down from him and bent down to lift him up. Originally Qin Haodong was just lack of power. By being fooled by Chi Weiner, he felt dazzled. It could not blame him. Any healthy man would felt dazzled in front of such a scenic beauty without any covering. Now I am okay, but if you still don't get up, I will be not okay anymore. Qin Haodong looked at the two attractive deep water bombs in front of him, and said weakly. Ah! Qi Xiao realized that it was wrong, and quickly got up, but this time another scene was revealed that made Qin Haodong's nostrils hot, and almost bleeding. Fortunately, Chi Weiner had at once pulled the bed sheets on the bed again and wrapped her body up. Seeing the beauty disappear in front of his eyes, Qin Haodong held the wall and slowly climbed up from the ground. Chi Weiner said with a red cheek, "Brother Qin, I am sorry. I was so excited just now. Are you okay?" Qin Haodong waved his hand and said. "I am fine, and just need to take a break." Chi Weiner looked at the big hole that had just been pulled out on the wall and said apologetically. "Brother Qin, I am really sorry that I have broken your room." "Could it be said being broken?" Qin Haodong said, turning around and going outside. "Follow me and take a look there." Chi Weiner did not know what Qin Haodong meant, but she followed him to get out of the room and went to the living room on the third floor. Seeing everything in front of her, she was completely dumbfounded. The original good villa turned into a broken wall at this time, as if it had suffered a disaster. Qin Haodong said, "Compared with here, the small hole on the wall is nothing. All of these are made by me." Qi Weiner couldn't believe her eyes. Looking at the tragedy in the blood on the ground, she figured out why Qin Haodong was so weak. "It's you, also not you, it's all caused by the ghost slave." Qin Haodong said, taking two more steps forward, and bent down to pick up a black iron piece from the ground. It seemed that this thing must be carried by him in the future. If he had it just now, he would not be so seriously injured. However, everything had a cause and an effect. If he himself was not getting hurt and you are not hurting and vomiting blood, he couldn't lift the seal on the mirror of Yin, Yang, not to mention destroying the ghost slave who reached the level of the covert power. Let's go downstairs and say. It's too messy here, and I have to find someone to clean it up tomorrow. Qin Haodong said, slowly walking downstairs. Chi Weiner quickly stepped forward to hold his arms. Feel the amazing elasticity form his arms, and thinking of the beautiful scenery just now, Qin Haodong's heart cannot help but burst into a hot fire, and he hurried to remove his attention. He said, "When you saw a fortune teller, did the old Tao say that you were a golden life?" "Yes, how do you know this?" Chi Weiner asked. "I just knew it, when I fighted with the ghost slave. Its body was as hard as iron that it had already exerted the metallity to the fullest. Therefore, I speculated that you must be a golden life and also has the attribution of Yin. This is why you had been chosen by the old Tao as a receptor for the ghosts." Qi Weiner said with anger, "This old Tao is utterly detestable. If I meet him again, I must twist his head down and kick it as a ball." It can be seen from the ghost slave that the level of that old Tao is definitely not low. According to your cultivation right now, when you see him again, you should hide away as far as you can. Talking about it, Qin Haodong looked serious. "I guess, this old Tao uses the 5 elements of refining ghosts. You are just the gold among the 5 ghosts, and so on, there are wood, water, earth, fire, 4 ghost slaves. What, there are the other 4 ghost slaves? Chi Yuer surprised and opened her mouth. Qin Haodong said, I guess it should be like this. However, it is definitely not a simple matter to get the other 4 ghosts together. The receptor of the ghosts must be the body of the Virgin, and also have the physical attributions of Yin. At the same time, it should also satisfy the 4 attributions, wood, water, earth and fire. This condition is very harsh, so it is difficult to achieve. During their conversation, 2 of them came downstairs. Qin Haodong took out his own shirt and a pair of big pants from his own dressing room and threw them to Qi Weiner. I don't have woman's clothes, so you try to wear them for a while. Qi Weiner took the clothes into the room, and took off the bed sheets on her body, and put on a shirt and a pair of short pants. Such kind of loosely dressing showed a different kind of charm. Envied, especially knowing that she didn't wear anything else inside, Qin Haodong felt hot in his heart. He said, that. You call Headstone and let him bring you back. Bring me back, why should I go back? Qi Weiner asked. Qin Haodong was astonished, your illness had now fully recovered, and what are you still leaving here? Qi Yuer said, I am already yours, naturally I should stay here to follow you. Hey, you needn't do so. Qin Haodong hurried to say, I just cured you, and I didn't do anything else. You cannot bluff me in such a way. Although this woman looked very beautiful and had a hot body, she couldn't say that she was mine because I just took a few looks on her. Look at you, am I very horrible? Am I unworthy of you? Qin Weiner cast a stern glance at Qin Haodong and said, my life is yours, so I say that I am yours from now on. I will do what you ask me to do. Oh. So is that. Qin Haodong breathed a sigh of relief. Qi Weiner had a superhuman hacking technique and was a warrior with the level of the covert power. He really needed such a talent. Well, I just started a security company and stayed here to help me if you like. Qi Yuer said, no problem, I am yours from now on. Hey. How could this statement made people have infinite delusions? Qin Haodong said, you take a break first. I have to recover and repair my cultivation as soon as possible. Later, I have to take my daughter to go to a singing competition. After he finished, he sat cross-legged on the floor and began to repair his injuries and to restore the exhausted genuine qi. After more than a day of getting along, Qi Weiner had a better understanding of Qin Haodong, and then did not ask for more things, taking the phone to go to the next room. She dialed a series of numbers and said excitedly after the call was connected, Mom, it is Weiner. I'm well now. Really? Weiner, have you really recovered? The voice of a middle-aged woman from the other side of the phone seemed very excited by the phone. She was the mother of Qi Weiner, Shi Zhishuan. Yes, Mom. I have completely recovered and I will never fall into such an illness again. Shi Zhishuan excitedly cries on the other side of the phone, my uncle says that you find a magic doctor, so he let me not to bother you in these days. Originally I didn't hold a big hope that I didn't know except that he would really cure you well. The strange illness of her daughter these years like a heavy stone that weighed down her mind. Now her daughter had recovered, which was the best news for her. Shi Kuai was afraid that his sister was worried, so he just told her that Qi Weiner had found a magic doctor to cure her illness, but he didn't tell her about the things of ghosts. After being pleasured, Shi Zhishuan said again, Weiner, tomorrow you dad and I will go to visit you and thank for the great magic doctor. Mom, please don't come here. Qi Weiner said, Mom, you should not only not to come here, but also have to keep secret to my dad that I have recovered. What are you going to do, my little girl? Your father has worried about your illness for these years. Now you have recovered. Why don't you let him be happy? Qi Shao smiled and said, Mom, you know Dad's temper. If he knew that I have recovered, he must bring me back at once. I just want to play outside for a few days. Shi Zhishuan thought for a while that her own daughter had been suffering severely from a strange lingering illness. She always stayed at home so that she must be eager to go outside for fun. It was not a bad thing for her to play for a few days outside. She said, "All right, but you couldn't play for too long. Coming back as soon as possible and you should protect yourself outside." After you came back, we went to thank the magic doctor. After all, he helped our princess of Qi family recovered from the illness. I, as a mother, should thank him in person. Thank you, Mom. Please help me warn my uncle that he should not say anything to my dad. After finishing speaking, Qin Weiner hanged up happily. Qin Haodong had cultivated for more than 1 hour. Suddenly, he was awakened by the rings of the phone. He opened his eyes. Although his cultivation had not recovered to his top level, he had no problems with moving. He fished out the phone and found that it was the little fellow who called for him. "Papa, when will you bring me to the competition? It is about to begin." The little fellow said anxiously. "Wait a minute, Papa is going to pick you up right now," Qin Haodong said and hung up the phone. Then he got up and changed a suit to go out. "Brother Qin, I also want to go with you," Qi Weiner said, holding his arms. "All right. I should find a suit of clothes for you." Qin Haodong came to the Lin's villa with Qi Weiner. The little fellow rushed to him as soon as she saw him, but Qin Haodong did not saw Lin Momo. "Papa, Mom went to work again so that she can't go to see my competition." The little guy said with a flat mouth that it was obvious that she was not satisfied with the departure of Lin Momo. "Mom is busy with work, and Dad can bring you there." Qin Haodong kissed the little guy's face and said, "And there is an aunt who could accompany with you." The little fellow didn't notice Qi Weiner beside them until she finished complaining to Qin Haodong just now. "Auntie, you are so beautiful," said the little fellow happily. "Auntie, you also go to the competition with Tang Tang." "Of course, Auntie will go there with you." Qi Yuer was completely lost by the cute appearance of the little fellow, and she liked her very much. Qin Haodong found a suit of clothes of Lin Momo's clothes for Qi Weiner. Two of them had a similar body shape so that Lin's clothes were suitable for Qi Weiner. After well preparation, Qin Haodong drove a car, rushing to the art museum of the south of the Yangtze River with the little fellow and Qi Weiner. Wang Hongbing's family are standing in front of the door of the art museum of the south of the Yangtze River, followed by 7 or 8 bodyguards. Both Wang Hongbing and Ma Hong wore a pair of big sunglasses, big enough to cover up half of their faces. Wearing a pair of big sunglasses was not for being cool in the evening, but for covering the two pandas' eyes that were beaten by Qin Haodong last night. It was really a shame for them. Wang Guan asked, "Dad, why don't we go in?" Wang Hongbing bitterly said, "Because we are waiting for the little girl who took off the first prize which belonged to you last time and her father. Today we must teach them a lesson and let them not dare to participate in the competition." Chapter 92. He is our boss. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 92. He is our boss. Ma Hong adjusted the sunglasses on her nose and whispered, "Honey, that toy boy is very powerful. Can we handle him?" "Don't worry. No matter how powerful he is alone. The bodyguards I hired this time are all the elites of Daddy Security Company, and they are different from the useless trashes I have hired before. One of them is a bodyguard of Realm 8, and 6 of them are the bodyguards of Realm 7. They will beat that boy into shit." After what happened the last time, Wang Hongbing vowed to take revenge and fired all his former bodyguards. He spent a lot of money and hired 7 guards of Daddy Security Company. The leader of those bodyguards was no other than Zhang Tiniu, a bodyguard of Realm 8. Wang Hongbing continued his words eagerly, "I have seen the power of these people. They know real kung fu, not a few fake moves. As long as that toy boy comes here, I promise I'll beat him down to his knees and let him call me daddy." While he was making his speech, Wang Guan pointed forward and shouted, "Papa, look. They are coming here." Wang Hongbing looked forward and saw Qin Haodong walk to them with Tang Tang in his arms, and there was also a beautiful woman beside him. Wang Hongbing waved his hand at the bodyguards behind him and shouted, "Get ready. Beat him badly when I let you do so. I'll take responsibility for what will happen." Qin Haodong went to the gate and saw Wang Hongbing stand in front of the door. He smiled and asked, "Mr. Wang, you came really early. Why you still wear sunglasses in the evening? Is there any problem with your eyes?" "There is a problem with you and your whole family." Wang Hongbing yelled angrily. "Kid, I will give you another chance. Kneel down before me and apologize to me. Then take your daughter away and do not participate in the competition." "What if I don't agree?" Qin Haodong asked with a smile. "I'll beat you until you agree." Wang Hongbing pointed at the bodyguards behind him and said, "Open your eyes. These people are the bodyguards I hired from Daddy Security Company. You are no match for them with your powerless moves." The little fellow called out, "You're bragging. My papa is the best of all." Chi Weiner said, "Big brother Qin, do you need me to teach this guy a lesson for you?" Qin Haodong said, "No need. He is just a small fry and can't make any big trouble." Seeing that Qin Haodong did not take him seriously, Wang Hongbing was furious and waved his hand at the bodyguards behind him. "Beat him hard that his mom won't recognize him." Wang Hongbing had thought that as long as he gave an order, Zhang Tiniu and other bodyguards would beat Qin Haodong up. However, he did not expect that the bodyguards stood still after he shouted at them with an imposing manner as if they had heard nothing. He yelled angrily at them, "What's wrong with you? Are you all deaf? Didn't you hear me?" Zhang Tiniu finally moved at the moment. He strode to Qin Haodong and bowed deeply to him while asking, "Boss, do you need us to teach him a lesson now?" It turned out that they had already recognized Qin Haodong, but Qin Haodong had signaled them not to take any action. "What? Boss?" Wang Hongbing was stunned for a while before shouting, "Zhang Tiniu, are you crazy? You should call me boss, not him." Qin Haodong also felt it funny. It turned out that Wang Hongbing dared to come to him just because he had hired some bodyguards from Daddy Security Company. He waved his hand at Zhang Tiniu and said with a smile, "Forget it. He is our customer. It's inappropriate for you to teach him a lesson by yourselves." After saying that, Qin Haodong gave Tang Tang to Chi Weiner beside him, walked over to Wang Hongbing, took off the sunglasses on Wang Hongbing's nose, raised his right fist and punched Wang Hongbing in the eyes, making the bruise around Wang Hongbing's eyes even more serious. "Ah!" Wang Hongbing was beaten into a scream. When he recognized what had happened, he shouted at Qin Haodong and the bodyguards angrily, "I paid money to hire you as my bodyguards, but you just watched me beaten by him. What the hell is Daddy Security Company? Do you train your bodyguards like this? Wait for my letter of complaint." Zhang Tiniu said, "Your complaint is useless. It has been clearly written in the first article of our company that boss has the priority over everything and all his orders should be followed. You have violated our agreement by asking us to take action toward our boss, so, it is you who breached our agreement." "What? You said that he was your boss." Wang Hongbing had a dull look, and it took him a long while to react. He realized that the boss Zhang Tiniu had said was different from what he had understood. He never thought that the young man in front of him was the boss of the famous Daddy Security Company. Qin Haodong smiled at him. "Thanks for buying the service of our company." Then he said to Zhang Tiniu and others, "Mr. Wang is a customer of our company. You must protect him well. Don't let him be wronged." After saying this, he took Tang Tang from Chi Weiner's hands and smiled at Wang Hongbing before walking into the art gallery. Wang Hongbing was filled with grievance and felt his chest about to explode. "Protect me well. You just beat me up, can't you remember?" Seeing Qin Haodong away, Wang Hongbing turned back and yelled at Zhang Tiniu and others, "Piss off. All of you, piss off now. You are fired." Zhang Tiniu remained calm and said, Mr. Wang, you can fire us, but you have to know that now, it's you who have breached our agreement, so, we won't return you your money if you fire us. When Wang Hongbing hired those bodyguards from Daddy Security Company, he signed an agreement with the company strictly according to the procedure. The first article of the agreement stated that the employers could not ask the staff to go against their boss. He had never thought that Qin Haodong was the boss of Daddy Security Company, so, he signed the agreement without hesitation and paid a lot of money as a penalty. However, now, he was the one who had breached the agreement. Get lost. All of you, get lost. I don't want that money back. Wang Hongbing drove away the bodyguards in the end. Though he lost a lot of money because of it, it was better for him than looking at these people and getting angry. He had hired these bodyguards to deal with Qin Haodong, however, according to what had happened just now, he knew that one word from Qin Haodong could make these people turn to beat him, so, he'd better fire these people. Mr. Wang, goodbye. Hope to see you by our service in our company again in the future. Zhang Tiniu did not care about being fired. There must be many other people waiting to hire them as their company was very well known now. He did not care about losing this employer. Moreover, he had earned a lot of money from this business. He waved goodbye to Wang Hongbing politely and then returned back to the security company with others. Seeing Zhang Tiniu and others away, Wang Hongbing felt extremely frustrated, but he could not think of any idea to solve the problem because the bodyguards he had hired were Qin Haodong's staff. The competition was about to begin soon, so, he could only take Wang Guan in for the competition. After Qin Haodong entered the venue, he immediately saw Wang Jiani waiting there. Compared to what she looked yesterday, she looked very happy and pleased. Hello, Mrs. Wang. Tang Tang took the initiative to say hello to Wang Jiani. Mrs. Wang, is there anything pleasant? Qin Haodong also said with a smile. Of course, there is. As Wang Jiani said so, she took out a small booklet, on which there were 3 words, Certificate of Divorce. She continued excitedly, I got divorced and finally got rid the devil Dong Chao. Oh, it's so good to hear that. Qin Haodong said. Thank you, Dr. Qin. Without your help, I may still live a miserable life now. Wang Jiani said gratefully. It's just a small case. Since now Dong Chao has been put into prison, you can live a peaceful life in the south of the Yangtze River. Go to find me if you need help. After Qin Haodong finished his words, Wang Jiani looked gloomy, and excitement disappeared from her face. Dr. Qin, Dong Chao has been discharged from prison now. His family has great power in Shanghai. Be careful that this bastard may take revenge from you. Qin Haodong did not care about Dong Chao at all, but he still asked in surprise, didn't that bastard gather a lot of people together to take drugs? How could he be discharged? Wang Jiani said, only I know that he was on drugs, and the oral evidence from me was not enough to put him into prison, so, the police officer Naylan only fined him for taking drugs. His behavior did not constitute a crime. Qin Haodong nodded and knew that things could only be like that. After all, the police had to rely on evidence to give a verdict. Qin Haodong said, it doesn't matter that he has been discharged. After all, we are in the south of the Yangtze River. Call me at once if he makes trouble for you. Wang Jiani said, I don't mind at all. After all, it's my own business. I'm just afraid of bringing troubles to you. Qin Haodong showed a casual smile. Don't worry about that. He is unqualified to make trouble for me. While they were talking, the competition started. The song Tang Tang sang that day was a children's song named Good Daddy. Her sweet voice and excellent performance won her tremendous applause when she finished her performance. Qin Haodong was deeply moved after watching his daughter's performance on the stage. He could feel the love Tang Tang had for him. Nothing could stop the connection of bloodline between a father and his daughter. Because it was the semi-final, the competitors were more outstanding than those of the trial. However, Tang Tang still won first place with her excellent performance. What surprised Qin Haodong was that Wang Hongbing used some methods to make Wang Guan, who sang like a stuck pig, into the final competition. However, it had nothing to do with him. As long as it would not affect Tang Tang, he did not want to pay any attention to other things. When the semi-final ended, 10 participants finally made into the final, which would be held on tomorrow's night. Surprisingly, the host of the competition announced a new rule that each competitor could invite a supporting performer in the final. The referees would decide the competition results based on the performance of both each competitor and supporting performer. Papa, I've won the first place again. At the end of the competition, Tang Tang ran into Qin Haodong's arms like a happy bird. You sang really well today. I believe you can win the first place in the final as well, Qi Weiner said from the bottom of her heart. Though she had not known Tang Tang for a long time, she really loved this cute little girl. Wang Jiani also chimed in, Tang Tang, you will definitely be a big star in the future. The little guy cried cheerfully, good. Good. When I become a big star, I'll take Papa with me to sing around the world. Qin Haodong said with a smile, Tang Tang, which song are you going to sing tomorrow? Can you tell me now? Tang Tang answered, I want to sing a song of the big star Ouyang Shanshan on tomorrow's final competition, is that okay? Of course, you can sing any song you like. In Qin Haodong's eyes, Tang Tang's happiness was the most important thing, and the competition was only in the second place after that. Wang Jiani said, Dr. Qin, the supporting performer is very important in tomorrow's competition. We must find an excellent performer to help Tang Tang, otherwise, Tang Tang's final result will be affected. If you can't think of any right person for this job, I can ask a few of my friends for help. They are literary and art workers with great ability and famous in Jiangnan City. An excellent supporting performer. A smile appeared on the corner of Qin Haodong's mouth. He said, thank you, I know the right person for it, so, there is no need to bother you with this. Seeing that Qin Haodong had his own plan, Wang Jiani did not say any word about it. They left the venue together chatting and laughing. Not long after they walked out of the venue, a black car ran towards them at high speed and stopped in front of them with braking sounds. When the door of the car opened, Dong Chao got off it with 2 men who looked grave. After seeing Dong Chao, Wang Jiani was caught by horror, and her smile disappeared. She trembled slightly and was really afraid of the devil in front of her. Qin Haodong stood beside her and comforted her. With me here, you don't need to be afraid. At this time, Dong Chao came over and yelled at them. Toy boy, I didn't expect to see you so soon. After that, he pointed to Wang Jiani while saying, bitch, do you think that you can get rid of me with a divorce certificate? Tell you what, you can never escape from me unless I die. Chapter 93. Give you a new look. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 93. Give you a new look. Bad guy, don't bully Mrs. Wang, otherwise, I'll let my daddy kick you away like kicking a ball, Tang Tang said in a resentful tone. Your daddy. Your daddy is nobody. Dong Chao laughed arrogantly and continued, I came to get even with him. These people are all the masters of martial arts from Shanghai, you see. Do you what are masters of martial arts? Ordinary people are no match for them. Dong Chao pointed at the man standing to his left and added, this Master Zhang of Iron Palm Technique. He is at level 5 of the overt power and can cut stone and gold open with his palm. He could smash your daddy's head like a watermelon with one palm if he wants. After saying this, he shot an aggressive glance at Qin Haodong and pointed at the middle-aged man to his right before saying, Master Li is even more powerful. He is at the level 6 of the overt power and good at Foshan Shadowless Kick. Have you ever heard of it? Those so-called moves on TV are fake, but Master Li no real martial arts. He is definitely able to kick you like kicking a ball. Masters at level 5 and 6 of the overt power. They are really experts. Qin Haodong smiled disdainfully. To defeat the people at these levels, there was no need for him to do it himself, as any one of his company could do it. You're scared. After all, these are masters our family has hired. Dong Chao did not sense the irony in Qin Haodong's tone and arrogantly continued his words, if you want me to let you off, there is a way. First, tell that bitch to marry me again. She could only be a doll of mine for her whole life. Second, kneel down before me and bow your head on the ground to apologize to me until I beat you up and take it out you. With this, he glanced at Chi Weiner, who stood beside, and continued his words, well, this girl with you is pretty. Tell her to sleep with me for a couple of days. If I'm pleased, I'll let this matter down. Wang Jiani was scared by Dong Chao's words, for she was not a warrior and did not know how powerful Qin Haodong was. She believed in Dong Chao's boast and thought that Qin Haodong was less powerful than those two masters. She said, I can agree to marry you again, whatever you'd like to do, but you have to promise to let these two friends of mine go. Dong Chao became highly conceited with her words and shouted, bitch, who do you think you are? How dare you bargain with me? I've told you all my requests. Do as what I said if you're smart, and I'll let it pass, otherwise, it'll be too late if the masters take their actions. Wang Jiani wanted to say something more but was pulled back by Qin Haodong, who said to Dong Chao, you're right. What happened today is non-negotiable. If you kneel down to apologize and promise that you will never step into the south of the Yangtze River to bother Mrs. Wang, I'll let the matter drop, or terrible things will happen to you. Dong Chao was shocked by Qin Haodong's words. He had thought that Qin Haodong would surrender and did not expect him to be so stubborn. Boy, you're courting death. Dong Chao turned to the two men behind him and said, Masters, this man won't give up until he suffers. Please show him your power and teach him a lesson. Let me do it, Master Zhang said as he strode forward. His two palms were thick and dark, which looked that he had made some achievements in practicing iron palm technique. He cupped his hands toward Qin Haodong and said, I'm Zhang Haitao of Iron Palm Technique. Show your move. Before Qin Haodong could reply, Chi Weiner said, let me handle it. Qin Haodong just got injured, and she did not if he recovered a bit, so, she stood out herself. Okay. Be careful when you fight with him and do not make it a too bloody scene. Qin Haodong did not worry about Chi Weiner's safety at all because as a warrior with a high level of covert power, she could beat these two so-called masters who were actually dorks so easily. What he really concerned about was that Chi Weiner would beat them too badly and make it a too bloody scene for Tang Tang to watch. Seeing that Qin Haodong hid behind Chi Weiner, Dong Chao shouted, Toy boy, you actually let a woman stand out for you. Shame on you. Qin Haodong smiled. It also takes power to have a woman stand out for you. You can find one if you're powerful enough. Hump, I'll handle you later. Dong Chao then turned to Zhang Haitao, Master Zhang, don't hurt this woman. We can take her back with us to warm our bed. Zhang Haitao showed an obscene smile and said, rest assured, Master. I always have tender affection for beautiful women. This bitch is so pretty, of course, I won't hurt her. Chi Weiner's face fell when she saw that these two people dared to molest her with words. She clawed toward Zhang Haitao. Zhang Haitao did not take the white hand that came to him seriously and met it with his hand. He took for granted that Chi Weiner's move was no match for his iron palm technique and tried to pull her into his arms. To his surprise, when the two hands met, he felt a burning pain. His palm, which could cut stone and gold open due to his cultivation during the past dozen years, was pierced through by Chi Weiner, leaving 5 bloody holes on it. I've reminded you not to make it too bloody. Qin Haodong felt helpless and covered Tang Tang's eyes with his hands. Papa, I'm not scared, Tang Tang said and took Qin Haodong's hands off from her eyes before turning to Chi Weiner, Auntie, come on. Beat this bad guy hard. Zhang Haitao became careful after he got injured. He threw his palm toward Chi Weiner's temple with a whooshing sound. Qi Weiner raised her hand to catch his wrist and twisted it, breaking off Zhang Haidao's carpal bone with a cracking sound. Zhang Haidao had trained his two palms for a dozen years through iron palm technique, but just in a short while, both of them were crippled. He lost power to fight immediately. Foshan Shadowless Kick. Seeing his companion injured, Li Fei, masterly, jumped up in the air at once and aimed countless mighty kicks with his both legs at Qi Weiner. Qi Weiner lifted one of her leg high and kicked Zhang Haitao away before launching another kick. There was a cold smile on the corner of Li Fei's mouth when he saw Qi Weiner try to fight with him kick against the kick. He had trained his legs for more than 20 years with which he could break off a wood pile as big as the mouth of a bowl. Compared with his legs, Qi Weiner's slender legs were really vulnerable. In the blink of an eye, the two legs collided with each other, and there was a cracking sound before Li Fei's scream. His leg which could break off wood pile was totally broken from his knees. It never occurred to him that Qi Weiner not only was a master of covert power but also possessed a physique of metal. Therefore, though she looked delicate, she was as strong as those who had cultivated armor of the Golden Bell and Iron Vest skill and the similar ones. He, as a warrior at level 6 of the overt power, was no match for her. Dong Chao's proud face changed into a dull look. He never thought that the two masters who he had hired from his family at a cost were beaten black and blue by a woman and lost all their cultivation. Even Qin Haodong did not handle him, he did not know how to explain it to his family. However, he could not care about that at the moment. Seeing that the things were going bad, he immediately climbed into a black car nearby and tried to flee away after closing the door. However, Qi Weiner had been enraged by him and would not let him go. She went to the car with 2 steps and ripped the door off the car by her hands before pulling Dong Chao out by the collar. Wang Jiani was dumbfounded by the scene. She could not help but wonder who were these people with Qin Haodong while looking at Qi Weiner, who was even more delicate than her but possessed such great power and could pierce through an iron door with her hands. Qi Weiner lifted Dong Chao up like lifting a chicken and went to Qin Haodong before throwing Dong Chao down on the ground. Dong Chao fell on the ground heavily and groaned, almost throwing up the foods he ate during dinner. Big brother Qin, how should we punish this bastard? What about we break his arms and legs? Qi Weiner glared at Dong Chao, still angry at the dirty words he had said to her. Dong Chao was scared to a chill and begged her. Please don't, please. Little brother Qin, it's all my fault. Please forgive me this time, and I promise I'll never offend you again. Qin Haodong handed Tang Tang to Wang Jiani beside him and squatted down in front of Dong Chao. He patted him on the face and said, everyone makes a mistake. To know your faults and be able to change is the greatest virtue. Dong Chao was overjoyed as he thought that Qin Haodong would let him off. He immediately replied, yes. Yes. I'll change it in the future. Qin Haodong smiled, it's great for one to know his fault and change it, but one still has to take responsibility for what he did. If apologizing is enough to eliminate one's fault, why should we still need police? Until then, Dong Chao realized that the young man in front of him could not be easily cheated. He asked with horror, what do you want to do to me? You scared Mrs. Wang just now, you should pay the price, said Qin Haodong. It seems that 1 million yuan we asked from you the last time is too few that you still had money to hire bodyguards. Therefore, this time, what about you give us 2 million yuan to let the matter drop? What do you think? As he said this, his eyes moved between Dong Chao's arms and legs with a threatening meaning behind it that he would break his 4 limbs if he said no. I agree. Of course, I should give you the money. Dong Chao was frightened. He took out his mobile phone and transferred the money to Wang Jiani's bank account. You're smart, man. I'm a little bit embarrassed to punish you hard. Qin Haodong patted Dong Chao on the shoulder with a smile and continued, but the guys like you always have a poor memory. You will make troubles if you don't suffer this time. I'll leave you some scars as a keepsake. After that, Qin Haodong grabbed Dong Chao's head with both hands and twisted it. A cracking sound was heard before Dong Chao's head was twisted to one side. He, thus, became a man with a wry neck. "What have you done to me?" Dong Chao asked in horror. "Don't worry. Your neck is not broken and it doesn't harm your health," Qin Haodong said with a smile. "I read Investiture of the Gods several days ago and found the image of Shen Gongbao very cool, so I made you like him. You'll have to live like this from this moment on. Take it as a lesson I give to you and don't forget it in a couple of days. Listen to me, be a good man and maybe someday your neck will return straight again. Don't think about getting treatment in the hospital because it's useless. No matter which doctor you go to see, he or she will tell you that you were born to have a wry neck." Dong Chao's expression changed. He could not go out to cajole girls anymore if he had a wry neck. Moreover, when he returned to Shanghai and his circle, he would lose his face. "Little brother Qin, please let me off this time. Make my neck normal again, please. I'd like to give you 2 million more or 4 million yuan. Qin Haodong replied with a smile, "There is something that money won't work. Don't think you can do everything with money. When you came to make trouble for me, you should have prepared for this. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Please let me off, please." Seeing that Dong Chao would not stop begging him, Qin Haodong looked displeased and said, "I'll count from 3 to 1. If you don't leave during the time, I don't mind twisting your head backward and giving you a brand new look." 3. Just as the word escaped Qin Haodong's mouth, Dong Chao immediately got up and turned away. He knew that Qin Haodong was not joking as he had seen his methods. Zhang Haitao and Li Fei struggled into the car as well. Dong Chao started the car with his neck twisted and disappeared in a moment. Chapter 94. The Trump Card of the Company. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 94. The Trump Card of the Company. The bad guy escaped away. The bad guy escaped away. Tang Tang cheered happily before saying to Chi Weiner, "Beautiful auntie, your moves are brilliant. Can you teach me?" "Sweetheart, you should learn from your father. You won't be able to learn my skills." Chi Weiner gained her cultivation and body constitution from the ghostly fetus, so ordinary people might not be able to learn her skills. "Okay, all right." Tang Tang pouted her lips, looking upset. "Tang Tang, you can just learn the techniques I taught you which can make you smarter. In this way, you'll even be more powerful than your auntie." Qin Haodong had taught Tang Tang Xiantian Sutra, the technique of the highest level in the cultivation world and much superior to the techniques Chi Weiner had learned. Because Tang Tang just started practicing the sutra, others could not see the improvement she made on it at the moment. After several days, she would improve greatly by each day. Ordinary cultivation methods could not compare with it at all. "Really? I'll work hard to practice it." Tang Tang became excited again. Right at the moment, Wang Jiani came to them and said, "Dr. Qin, you saved me again. Thank you so much." Qin Haodong replied, "You're welcome. Don't take it to your heart as it is just a small thing." Wang Jiani said again, "Dr. Qin, you earned this 2 million yuan. It's inappropriate for me to keep it, so I should return it to you." "I don't need it. That bastard owes you this. No one should keep it except you." Then let me treat you and Sister Weiner a meal." Wang Jiani did not know how to express her appreciation. Qin Haodong did not refuse her invitation this time and said, "That's good. Let's go to have a feast. By the way, celebrate Tang Tang's winning the first place again." "Great. Great. Let's go. I'll have a feast." Tang Tang clapped her hands happily. The four went to a Western restaurant and had a feast together happily. After that, Qin Haodong drove Wang Jiani to her home before returning to Lin's villa with others. Because it was too late in the evening, Chi Weiner went back to number 6 villa while Qin Haodong went to Lin Momo's house with Tang Tang. When they entered the door, they found Lin Momo was already back at home. Tang Tang said with a sad look, "Mommy, I won the first place again today, but it's a pity that you didn't see it." Lin Momo held Tang Tang in her arms and kissed her before apologizing. "Sorry, Tang Tang. I was indeed busy today. I'll be there rooting for you in tomorrow's final competition." Tang Tang widened her eyes as she heard so and said happily, "Mommy, keep your words." Of course, Tang Tang expected to compete in the final with her mom's and dad's company. "Okay. Lin Momo said with certainty. "Let's make a pinky promise." Tang Tang stretched out her little white finger and made a pinky promise with Lin Momo before resting assured. Lin Momo let Tang Tang stand on the ground and said, "Go to find your grandpa and play with him." Seeing that Tang Tang went to find Lin Ziyuan, Qin Haodong said, "Why did you go to work so late tonight? What were you doing?" "I got the news that the Feng family transported a batch of raw jade gemstones, so I went to have a check." Qin Haodong answered, "I see. But you told me that a batch of raw jade gemstones had been transported to the Feng's group already. Did it affect our business?" "No," Lin Momo answered with a curious look. "That's what I worried about. The Lin family has transported 2 batches of raw jade gemstones from Myanmar but hasn't taken any further action or advertised it. Their products don't sell better than before and their customers are still very few. If I were the boss of the Feng's group, I would give it much publicity after I got so many new raw jade gemstones and win my customers back through some means of promotion to turn losses into gains. I would not keep the news in silence. I really don't understand what they want to do." Qin Haodong thought it over for a while and could not figure out the reason either. He just said, "Don't worry. I will go there to have a check tomorrow. At worst, we can buy some new raw gemstones from them." "That's great." Lin Momo knew Qin Haodong was powerful. As long as he had a hand in this matter, the Feng family would not be able to make trouble. After putting Tang Tang to sleep, Qin Haodong went back his own home. The 3rd floor was unavailable to live, so, he and Qi Weiner both lived on the 2nd floor. Early the next morning, Qin Haodong connected with Nalan Wushuang through the phone and asked her to come to his house. He wanted to discuss 2 things with her. One was about Qi Weiner working in Daddy Security Company, and the other one was about asking her to find someone to have his house repaired. After the call, he went to Qi Weiner's room. He thought it not good enough for Qi Weiner to cultivate relying on her instinct. After pondering for a while, he thought of the Rakshasa clan in the cultivation world. The cultivating methods of the clan were the best for Qi Weiner, who had a physique of metal. He taught Qi Weiner the methods and guided her to cultivate. Just as Qin Haodong finished his guidance, Nalan Wushuang entered the room, and her expression changed when she saw the beautiful Qi Weiner. She never expected to see a stunning woman in Qin Haodong's house every time she went there. She asked, "Is she also your customer?" Qin Haodong replied with a smile, "Nope. She is not my customer but a new staff of my company." "Staff? What kind of staff?" Nalan Wushuang did not understand his words at the moment. Qi Weiner went to Nalan Wushuang with a smile and said, "Sister Nalan, don't you remember me? I'm Weiner." "What? Are you Weiner?" When they last met, Qi Weiner was in black clothes with her face painted black as well. Now, she changed a new look. Nalan Wushuang certainly could not recognize her. Qi Weiner answered with excitement, "Yes, I'm Sister Nalan. Big brother Qin cured my disease, and now, I'm one of Daddy's security company." "That's great. So great." Qi Weiner was happy to see Qi Weiner cured by Qin Haodong. She then asked, "Since you have accepted Weiner as our staff, which level will she be ranked?" Qin Haodong said after a while in thought, "Weiner has top skills in hacking computers and fighting. She should be the Ultra Guard like me. Moreover, she is a trump card of our company and will not take tasks from outsiders for the present." "Wow, she is so brilliant." Nalan Wushuang did not expect that Qin Haodong would think so highly of Qi Weiner, which surprised her greatly. You'll see if she is powerful or not. After that, Qin Haodong took Nalan Wushuang to the third floor. Nalan Wushuang was shocked by the terribly damaged living room and asked in astonishment, what happened? How did it become like this? All the furniture in the room had been broken into pieces, and even the hard wall and floor of the room were seriously damaged. If the destructive power had been stronger, the house would have been in parts. Nalan Wushuang could not think of who had such great power. Qi Weiner replied with embarrassment, Sister Nalan, I did it. What? You did it? Are you serious? Nalan Wushuang could not imagine that the delicate and lovely Qi Weiner had such great destructive power. It's true. I did it. Qi Weiner explained briefly how she had become a ghost slave and been saved by Qin Haodong. At last, she said, Sister Nalan, all the maintenance cost of the house is on me. No need. Our family has decoration companies. I'll ask them to repair the house. Nalan Wushuang finally could understand how powerful Qi Weiner was. She is as strong as a female Tyrannosaurus. After leaving Qi Weiner to Nalan Wushuang, Qin Haodong drove out to the exhibition center. He wanted to see what secrets the Feng's group kept from the public. His cell phone rang when he was halfway there. The call was from Nalan Wuxiao. Qin Haodong answered the phone with a grin. Madam, how did you remember to call me? You want to invite me for dinner? Nalan Wuxiao replied, come to the criminal unit quickly. When the business is done, I'll invite you. Don't tell me you want me to help you with interrogation. If you keep me doing these things, I'll consider getting a police permit to join you as a policeman. Qin Haodong drove the car toward the criminal unit as he talked on the phone. When he arrived at the criminal unit of the Jiangnan city, he not only saw Wang Jianfeng and Nalan Wuxiao there but also saw Fang Chuanxiong, the leader of the special task force in the Department of Police. Brother Qin, here you are. Fang Chuanxiong welcomed Qin Haodong warmly after seeing him. Qin Haodong asked, Chief Fang, did anything happen? Yes, otherwise, we would not have asked you here. Nalan Wuxiao had a good relationship with Qin Haodong, so, she answered him in a seemingly careless way. Fang Chuanxiong also replied, Brother Qin, let me explain it. Recently, we received some information from our intelligence officers in Burma that the drug gangs in the Golden Triangle had transported a large number of drugs into our country through some secret channels. However, we don't know through what means they transported them or where they wanted to unload it. Yesterday, we happened to catch a big drug dealer in our city. He has a close relationship with the dealers in the Golden Triangle and must know something about the transportation of the drugs. However, after a night of rush interrogation, we still got nothing valuable out of him. Now, we're not sure if the person just doesn't want to tell us or he just doesn't know anything about it, so, we want to ask you to check it out. Wang Jianfeng chimed in, yes, that's true. If he still says he doesn't know after you question him, we can be sure that he indeed doesn't know. Then, we'll have to find some other ways. Okay. No problem. This is an easy task for me. Qin Haodong answered them without hesitation. Interrogating others was nothing difficult for him. Thanks. Then, I'll leave him to you. After saying this, Fang Chuanxiong led Qin Haodong into an interrogation room. Qin Haodong entered the door and saw a skinny man about 40. The man was sitting on an iron chair, extremely thin, his eyes glassy, and he looked like a typical drug addict. 10 minutes later, the policeman left the room with Qin Haodong and both went to a meeting room. Fang Chuanxiong spoke up with a serious look, through the interrogation Brother Qin did, we gained a lot. First, we can be sure that the drug gang in the Golden Triangle did transport a great number of drugs into our country and probably into our city. Wang Jianfeng also said, it's a pity that this man is just an underling among the drug dealers and knows little about the drug gang in the Golden Triangle. If he can tell us the exact place where these drugs will be traded, that would be great. Nalan Wuxia joined in the conversation. The quantity of this batch of drugs is large, and they transported them through some secret means. They certainly will not let those underlings know the exact information of the deal until the last moment. We need to do more work later to find these drugs. This is your business. You can call me if you guys need any help, said Qin Haodong. It means a lot to us and our case to know this information. Brother Qin, thank you so much. Fang Chuanxiong thanked Qin Haodong many times before seeing him out. After leaving the criminal unit, Qin Haodong called Lin Momo again and confirmed that Lin's group still had not taken any further action. He then drove to the exhibition center and wanted to find out what tricks the Feng family were playing. Chapter 95. Strange Stones. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 95. Strange Stones. When Qin Haodong entered the exhibition center, just as Lin Momo had said, there was a great gathering of customers in the exhibition hall of Lin's group while only a few customers were seen in the exhibition hall of Feng's group. Qin Haodong stepped into the hall of the Feng's group only to find that the staff and customers there were fewer than the last time he went there. At first, he was afraid to be recognized by the staff there. However, no one took a look at him even after he wandered around inside it for a while. It made sense as the last time he went to the place, there were so many people and the staff was busy receiving the customers, therefore, few noticed him at that time. Moreover, later after that, when he pushed himself forward, he was surrounded by jade traders and Feng Tianda's bodyguards. The staff could not make it to the front of the crowd to see him. After hanging around the hall, Qin Haodong found less than 10 people there. He walked through the zone A, B, C, and D only to find that there was a newly set area full of raw jade gemstones that he did not see the last time. The area was simply isolated from other places by a boundary line with a sign, out of bounds. It looked that visitors could not enter the area. Looking at these new gemstones, Qin Haodong guessed that they were the raw jade gemstones from Myanmar which Lin Momo had mentioned. He was so confused about why the Feng's group did not advertise its new merchandises to let more people know about it like other merchants always did. The Feng's group did not advertise these raw jade gemstones but put them aside and did not allow customers to observe and buy them. What was going on? There were always unknown secrets behind every anomaly. Qin Haodong pretended to select raw gemstones in the zone D, but in fact, his eyes were fixed on the raw jade gemstones in the isolation section. Soon, he found something strange about these stones. Maybe because the merchandises did not sell well, no seller came to serve Qin Haodong even though he had been there for a while. The staff seemed to not care about the gemstones outside, but there always were people walking around the isolation section, looking as if they were guarding it. Besides, these people all spoke Burmese. It looked that they were Burmese, not the local people in the south of the Yangtze River. What's going on? Could it be that those raw gemstones are of high quality, so they are guarded? However, soon, Qin Haodong realized that there was no spiritual qi from those gemstones. As a result, these could not be the raw jade gemstones of high quality from Myanmar. Qin Haodong was even more confused. The Jade Gang has a good relationship with the Feng's group, so they should sell lots of raw jade gemstones of high quality to help the group out of trouble. Why did they transport so many useless stones here? No wonder the Feng's group took none further action after they got 2 batches of raw gemstones. They knew very well that if they sold these stones of poor quality in the market, it would not turn things around but would lead them into a passive position. Since they knew that the quality of these gemstones is poor, why did they still transport them from Myanmar to Huaxia? With these questions, Qin Haodong came to the place nearest to the isolation section and started to observe these gemstones again. Because he had a strong spirit, he could feel the aura of the gemstones clearly from where he stood. Before long, he found something strange again. Though these gemstones contained little spiritual qi, most of them gave a natural smell, indicating that they were naturally formed. About 1/10 of the gemstones did not give such a smell. The only explanation was that they were man-made. Why did they put these man-made gemstones in an exhibition hall? There must be something strange about these stones. Qin Haodong could not figure out the reason at the moment. It looks that I have to get a gemstone and analyze it to find the answer. With this thought, Qin Haodong quickly entered the isolation section and approached the raw gemstones when the attention of the guards was not on the area. Hey! What are you doing here? Who let you in? Didn't you see the sign out of bounds? A staff about 20 saw Qin Haodong and immediately ran over at the moment. He was very angry because their boss had told them if someone approached the isolation section, they would be fired and could not get a penny from him. Thinking of this, the staff pushed Qin Haodong hard by the shoulder and yelled at him. Get out of here. Qin Haodong was seeking for a chance to get near to the raw jade gemstones, therefore, he took the chance to retreat backwards several steps with the force and fell on the gemstones behind him. He made an angry face and said, I'm here to select raw jade gemstones. Why did you beat me? The staff shouted at him. What the hell are you selecting? Can't you see the sign here, out of bounds? Are you bullying me for I can't read? There is another person in the section. Why did you just not let me in? Qin Haodong pointed to a direction as he said this. The staff was startled, thinking that he had let someone else in the section when he was mind-wandering. He looked toward the direction Qin Haodong pointed at, however, Qin Haodong took the chance to collect one piece of strange stone underneath him into his storage ring. When the staff found that the person Qin Haodong referred to was one of the patrolling Burmese, he was relieved and said, Get out of here quickly. That guy is our man, not a customer. Okay, I'll go, but haven't you ever heard that the customer is always right? With money, I can buy raw jade gemstones wherever I go. Your group will have to suffer the loss of a customer. Qin Haodong got up and left the place in rage. What's going on? A man who seemed to be a manager went over. The staff immediately put on a smiling face and answered, Nothing. Just a guy who can't read. I told him to leave. The manager looked at Qin Haodong's empty hands and was convinced. He turned to the staff, Keep your eyes open. If I see someone approach the section again, you'll definitely be fired. Yes. Yes, I'll be careful from this moment on. The staff hurriedly answered, and the manager snorted before leaving. When Qin Haodong went back into his car, Qin Haodong smiled, and a stone at the size of a volleyball appeared in his hands. He held the stone with both hands and did not spot anything strange from it, but he was sure that the stone had to be man-made. Besides, the stone was produced with advanced technology, so, normal people could not tell it's man-made. If it had not been for he could sense its aura, he would not have been able to tell it either. He thought there must be a reason behind these people producing these fake stones as it would take a great cost to make these stones look like real ones. But what's wrong with it actually? Qin Haodong could not find any problem by observing the stone, so, he decided to dig into it. He stretched out 2 fingers and pinched a raised part of the stone off. Feeling it in his hands, he could tell this kind of man-made stone was not as hard as naturally formed stone. Moreover, the grain on its cross-section was different from that of a natural one. Where does the problem lie? With this question, Qin Haodong moved his finger and squeezed the small stone that he pinched off the stone into powder. He raised his hand and looked at his fingers, the powder was white. An idea suddenly struck him. He recalled a case that the last time, some drug dealers merged the drugs into leather suitcases through chemical methods. Nalan Wuxia had just told him that a great number of drugs had entered into Jiangnan City but they did not know its whereabouts. Putting these 2 things together with the fake stone in his hands, Qin Haodong almost came to the conclusion that the stone was probably made of drugs. He was thrilled by his findings and drove to the criminal unit of Jiangnan City at once. Meanwhile, he called Nalan Wuxia. Madam, are you in the criminal unit? No, I'm out carrying a mission with others. Why did you call me? Nalan Wuxia asked. Come back now, hurry. I have good stuff for you. For me. Nalan Wuxia was a little surprised and continued to ask, what stuff? A great treasure. Qin Haodong burst into laughter. To Nalan Wuxia, who was anxious to crack the drug case, this stone was indeed a treasure. Nalan Wuxia replied, I'm busy, so, don't joke with me. It will be a disaster if we can't find these drugs in time and let them circulate in the market. It will bring our country endless troubles. I'm not joking. This stuff is significant to you. Come back quickly. I'm arriving at the criminal unit. Qin Haodong ended the call after finishing his words, confident that Nalan Wuxia would be back soon. Not surprisingly, just as he parked his car at the criminal unit, Nalan Wuxia stormed back in a patrol wagon. She got off the car and said to Qin Haodong with resentment, for what reason you insisted on my coming back? Are you in trouble in wooing girls again? You're talking nonsense. I'm an honest man. Aren't you ashamed of describing yourself as an honest man? Every time you're in trouble, you are with a woman. Can you tell me an exception? Qin Haodong thought it for a while and found her words true. He answered in embarrassment, well. I'm so handsome, and it's not my fault. All right, cut the crap. Why did you call me back? I've told you I have good stuff for you. Qin Haodong took the stone out of the car and handed it to Nalan Wuxia as he said that. You urged me back just to give me this stone. Is it an April Fool's joke? Nalan Wuxia thought that Qin Haodong was making fun of her, and she had a desire to smash Qin Haodong's head with the stone. Qin Haodong replied, I'm serious. This stone is a treasure. Seeing his serious look, Nalan Wuxia received the stone and turned it over carefully in her hands but did not find anything different. It's just a stone and nothing like a treasure, Nalan Wuxia grumbled, I don't have time to joke with you. I'm leaving if there is nothing else. What you are looking for is exactly in this stone. Where are you off to? What do you mean? Nalan Wuxia was smart, and she also experienced the case where the drugs were merged into leather suitcases, so, after a while in thought, she looked shocked and exclaimed, do you mean that there are drugs in this stone? Qin Haodong answered, I guessed so. Have it tested in your laboratory and we'll know it soon. I'm on it. Nalan Wuxia stormed out the criminal unit carrying the stone and delivered it to the Laboratory of Technology Division. To test drugs was always very easy, so, she carried the stone out of the lab several minutes later. She exclaimed in a thrill, tell me, where did you get this stone? You haven't told me the results of the test yet. Qin Haodong was much calmer than Nalan Wuxia. We got it tested and the results show that it contains a lot of diamorphine of high concentration, which means that you're right. There are many drugs in this stone. Seeing that his guess was confirmed, Qin Haodong could not help but be impressed by the crafty drug dealers, who could think of such an unusual way to smuggle drugs. If it had not been that Lin Momo noticed something unusual with the Lin's group, and that he happened to be involved in the case, and that he had a storage ring, they would not have been able to find the secret. Justice had long arms. These criminals accidentally fell down because of Qin Haodong in the end. While Qin Haodong was still in mixed emotions, Nalan Wuxia was impatient and asked him, what are you smiling at? Tell me quickly, where did you get this stone? Don't delay my case. Chapter 96. Who's got more people? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 96. Who's got more people? In the exhibition side of raw gemstones of the Feng's group. Qin Haodong was not going to lie about it. He told how he had found those stones briefly, but he skipped the storage ring part, and said that he stole the stone while the guards were mind-absent. Nalan Wuxia would never doubt him. She said, hurry up. We should get there and transfer those things as soon as we can, so that they won't notice anything wrong. After she said that, she walked fast to Qin Haodong's car. Qin Haodong opened the door and sat in. He asked, there's just two of us, is it enough? Let's get there first and detain the goods. I'll call Captain Wang right now. Said Nalan Wuxia. She then signed Qin Haodong to drive faster and took out her phone to call Wang Jianfeng. A crucial case like this called for the help of the armed police. She was only the vice captain of the criminal unit and had no right to request assistance, so she could only report it. As for the team leader of the special task force, Fang Chuanxiong, Wang Jianfeng should report to him based on their levels. Wang Jianfeng immediately turned strained when he heard about the important clue of drug dealing. He sent a large number of armed policemen to the exhibition center and reported the case to Fang Chuanxiong. In the exhibition hall, Feng Tianda was watching those raw gemstones in the isolation section with a bearded young man. The bearded young man was named Meng Tai. He's Meng Gang's brother, and a competent assistant of Jade Gang's boss, Zhou Tianhu. He was here in full charge of the affair of Jade Gang in the south of the Yangtze River. He might look tough for the outside, but he was quite careful in the inspection. He circled around carefully and called the supervisor here. He asked, "Anything wrong today?" "No, everything is going on well." The supervisor replied respectfully. He had to carefully treat the bearded man from Burma, because even the boss, Feng Tianda, was treating him so carefully. "Anyone else dropped by?" Meng Tai added. The supervisor hesitated and said, "A young man just dropped by." She thought it was just a pile of broken stone, and it was no loss to let someone come in and see it. There's no need to lie. But Meng Tai's face turned stern as he heard that. He asked, "What? Did I tell you that no one was allowed in? Please don't me mad. I can explain it." The supervisor explained immediately. The young man was illiterate, so he didn't read the sign on the door. "We kicked him out within 1 minute after he broke in." Meng Tai's looked relaxed, and he asked, "What did he look like?" The supervisor said, "It was a young man in his 20s, looking white and tender. A cheeky and handsome young man." Cheeky and handsome. Feng Tianda remained silent and stood aside, but he was caught by the words of the supervisor, so asked, "Tell me in detail. What did he look like?" "He was about 1.8 meters tall, around 20 years old." Said the supervisor as he pointed to the entrance, "That's him. He's here again, boss." Feng Tianda looked at the direction she pointed at, only to see Qin Haodong walking in with Nalan Wuxiao. Thinking of the 100 million yuan he lost, Feng Tianda said with hatred, "It's him. The gigolo boy Ednel.co, brother Feng, do you know the guy?" Meng Tai asked. "He's Qin Haodong, and he was why your brother, Meng Gang, was in jail." "That's him. I'm going to kill him." Meng Tai's expression changed fast, and his eyes were filled with hatred. He heard it in Burma that his brother had been arrested because of a young man, and he might spend 8 or 10 years in jail. He was going to get back on Qin Haodong as soon as he heard the news, but Zhou Tianhu stopped him. Zhou Tianhu told him not to act rashly at the moment. They wait and get back to Qin Haodong together after they completed this important mission. "Brother Meng, try not to act rashly now." Feng Tianda was rational. He grabbed Meng Tai and whispered, "We're in Huaxia now. We can only act in secret of wanting to avenge. There are too many people here, and the woman standing beside him is a policewoman." Meng Tai hesitated for a while, but he suppressed his anger in the end. The boss of the gang told him again and again that he couldn't let anything influence the mission, or he would kill him. As they were talking, Qin Haodong and Nalan Wuxia had already entered the isolation section. Feng Tianda walked towards them, but he ignored Qin Haodong on purpose and talked to Nalan Wuxia, "Miss Nalan. Visitors are not allowed in here. You can visit outside if you want to buy a raw gemstone." Qin Haodong wasn't pissed off at all because of Feng Tianda's neglect. He comes forward and said with a smile, "Mr. Feng. It's a pity that you don't expose these raw jade gemstones to the public. What are you saving them for?" Feng Tianda glared at him and said, "Qin Haodong. Mind your own business. It's my decision whether to keep them or to sell them. That's none of your business. Now get out of here." You're not welcomed. Chin Haodong smiled and asked, are you sure they're all your stone? Don't regret you just said that. He said that on purpose. Drugs in Huaxia were very seriously controlled. The amount hidden in one stone would be enough to sentence Feng Tian to death. A bad hunch hit Feng Tian when he saw Chin Haodong, but he didn't want to lose his face. So he said, mine is mine, so what? Are you going to take it away from me? Nalan Wuxia said, Feng Tian, I'm not here to buy stone. I am here to tell you that all these raw jade gemstones have been detained. What? Feng Tian and Meng Tai's face changed at the same time. Feng Tian said coldly, they're just gemstones. Why they're detained? Did the stones violate the law? Nalan Wuxia said, just do as what I say. There's no need to explain it to you now. Miss Nalan, is it too bureaucratic? We're licensed businessmen and you should serve us. You can't detain my goods just because you're saying so. I need an explanation. Feng Tian didn't take Nalan Wuxia seriously because she was just a deputy captain of the criminal unit. He would have driven her out early if she didn't have a special family background. Nalan Wuxia sent an A4 paper to Feng Tian and said, read it carefully. This is a warrant of detainment, and you have to do as it says right now. Now tell your men to leave the site and gather them for the interrogate by the police. I'll give you an explanation when the case is done. Chin Haodong nodded silently. The woman might be quick-tempered, but she was quite organized when she was dealing with things. She had prepared the warrant of detainment before they got here. Feng Tian checked in the warrant in Nalan Wuxia's hand, then he looked as if he had recalled something. He said, I know what this is about. He raised his finger and pointed to Chin Haodong. Then he said, he's Lin Momo's kept man. You come here with him because Lin's group wants to suppress the Feng's group. That's illegal commercial competition. I will report you to your supervisor. Nalan Wuxia said, please do that, but at first you have to follow my orders. Feng Tian said, I said it's illegal commercial competition, so I don't have to do it. Nalan Wuxia's face turned sulk. She said angrily, Feng Tian, are you defying the law? That's a hard label to put on me. Said Feng Tian, you should leave now, or I'll have someone kick you out. Nalan Wuxia said angrily, try me, Feng Tian. Feng Tian smiled coldly, Nalan Wuxia, you're pushing me too much. Even rabbits will bite in anger. After that he turned back and waved, get out now, brothers. Let's escort Miss Nalan out of here. Soon a group of men in black suit gathered, among whom 20 were from Jade Gang brought here by Meng Tai, and 30 were the bodyguards of the Feng family. All of them looked fierce and devilish. They were not taking Nalan Wuxia seriously at all. Feng Tian said with a smug look, Nalan Wuxia. I know you and the gigolo boy do have some fighting skills, but my people outnumber you too much. You can't possibly beat these people behind me no matter how strong you are. He was confident today because the bodyguards of the Feng family and people from Jade Gang were all elite. They were much stronger than ordinary people. Chin Haodong had no chance to beat so many people no matter how strong he was. Chin Haodong smiled and said, is this a contest of the number of people? Feng Tian grew angrier when he saw Chin Haodong smile. He yelled, what if it is? I have more people than you. This is the Feng family's place, not somewhere for a gigolo boy like you to be so arrogant. I don't think so. Chin Haodong was wearing an intriguing smile. Nalan Wuxia was here on behalf of the criminal unit. Feng Tian was having a contest of the number of people to the police. He must have gone insane. You still don't believe it, do you? Feng Tian waved to those behind him and said, let's move and teach him a lesson, brothers. He barely finished his sentence and his fellows were just about to move before the siren rang up. 10 more patrol wagons rushed into the exhibition center, with 4 military trucks behind. The patrol wagons rushed into the isolation section, and encircled those in the area. Feng Tianda is dumbfounded. He had just said that he had more people, and a large group was here to support the other party. What made him panic most were more than 100 armed police jumped off the 4 military trucks. They were all fully armed with real guns and bullets. Their leather boots were clanking when hitting the ground, making the earth shake. It sounded so heavy and powerful. Qin Haodong smiled at Feng Tianda. How about that? Are you moving or not? Are we still competing? Feng Tianda felt totally embarrassed. He would never be confident enough to go against the armed police. Armed police in Huaxia are well-known crack troops. Those stragglers and disbanded fellows of his could never be their match. Meng Tai took 2 steps forward and whispered to Feng Tianda, "What should we do?" "Don't worry. We Feng family have been in the south of the Yangtze River for so many years, and we are never pushovers," said Feng Tianda as he took out his cell phone out of his pocket and dialed a number. He then said, "Is that Uncle Lu? This is Tianda. Lin's group colluded with your criminal police team and is going to detain my goods today. Can you come and check it up for me?" Nobody knew what the man on the other side had said. But the nervousness on Feng Tianda's face had all gone when he hung up the phone. He was wearing the smug face once again. Those people were brought by Wang Jianfeng. After they encircled the site, Wang Jianfeng strode to Nalan Wuxia and Qin Haodong. He said to Feng Tianda after he heard about what had happened, "Mr. Feng, your exhibition site is suspected of being involved in a drug trafficking case. Now we need you and your fellows to come to the criminal unit for investigation." "That's nonsense. Feng's group has always been doing legitimate business. How's it possible that we're involved in drug deals?" Feng Tianda pointed to Qin Haodong and said, "Don't try to fool me. I know you're here with the Gigolo boy to suppress the business of the Feng's group." Chapter 97. Contest of Background. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 97. Contest of Background. Wang Jianfeng said coldly, "If you feel there's anything wrong with our law enforcement procedures, you can report it to our supervisors, but you have to cooperate with us now, or I'll hold you interference with a public function." Feng Tianda said, "Wang Jianfeng, don't try to play the public function card. You're just a captain of the criminal unit. You're unqualified to make the decision here in Jiangnan. Now be smart and get out of here with your people, or you'll have to bear all the consequences when Deputy Director Lu gets here later." "Who is Deputy Director Lu?" Env Qin Haodong asked Nalan Wuxia in a low voice. Nalan Wuxia said, "He's the Deputy Director of Jiangnan Public Security Bureau. It's said that he has a very close connection with the Feng's group." "Okay." Qin Haodong had figured it out why the guy turned so confident just after one call. It turned out that he had found support. He said to Feng Tianda, "You just had a competition of the number of people. Are we switching to a competition of background support now?" Feng Tianda said, "So what? Let me tell you this, Gigolo boy. You're so unqualified to start with Feng family in Jiangnan." Wang Jianfeng frowned slightly. His working class was much lower than Deputy Director, so things would be harder to deal with if Deputy Director Lu really got here. Feng Tianda seemed to have noticed his hesitation. He yelled arrogantly, "Wang Jianfeng. Just take my advice and leave with your people, or you may lose your job." At this moment, a black sedan rushed over. "It's Director Lu." Feng Tianda rushed and opened the door happily. A middle-aged man in his 50s got off the car. "He's the Deputy Director of Jiangnan Public Security Bureau, Lu Bingzhong." "Uncle Lu, there you are. Those fellows of yours were bullying me so badly." Feng Tianda started complaining at once. "I know." Lu Bingzhong had been getting along well with the Feng family, and he had benefited a lot in secret from the relationship. Now that the Feng family were in trouble, he had no reason to ignore it. Above all, those trouble-makers were his subordinates. He strolled to Wang Jianfeng and Nalan Wuxia with his both hands on his back, and asked bureaucratically, "What's going on?" Who sent you here? Do you have any idea that improper law enforcement will affect the daily operation of the company? Nalan Wuxia was not afraid of Lu Bingzhong at all. She said, Director Lu, you just arrived here. How do you know our enforcement is improper when you barely know what's going on? Lu Bingzhong's expression froze because he didn't expect that Nalan Wuxia would let him lose face before so many people. He said it sternly, the operation this time was such a large-scale one, but you didn't report it to me. I don't know what else can be called improper if this isn't. Nalan Wuxia said, Director Lu, did you forget that the criminal police unit has been assigned under the leadership of Chief Fang? We don't need to report to you. Well. Lu Bingzhong was suddenly speechless. Nalan Wuxia was right, the criminal unit of Jiangnan City had been assigned under the direct supervision of Fang Chuanxiong by the Public Security Bureau. But after all he had been in the officialdom for long. Soon he added, no matter who's your supervisor, you'll have to have evidence of the case. Do you have any evidence? Besides, why are you in a gemstone exhibition for an anti-drug case? Is there any drug hidden in the stones? Nalan Wuxia said, You're right, Director Lu. There's the drug in the stones. She handed a laboratory report to Lu Bingzhong after she said that. Then she added, This is the result of a test conducted by our criminal unit on the raw jade gemstones. They contain a lot of heroin inside. Meng Tai's expression suddenly changed. He knew clearly about what was wrong with the stone, but he had no idea when the criminal unit had taken the samples and did the test. It was such a firm guarded place here, and no outsiders were allowed inside. Lu Bingzhong turned gloomy as he picked up the result. He turned back and looked at Feng Tianda. Feng Tianda yelled, Nalan Wuxia, how dare you make a fake test result? You're just trying to help the Lin's group and this gigolo boy. That's nonsense, who said that this is a fake result? Feng Tianda argued with hatred, then tell me when you took the samples and who was the witness of the test. Lu Bingzhong seemed to have found a weak point. He turned back to Nalan Wuxia and said, Yes, Captain Nalan. Your sample collection procedure was illegal. When did you get the evidence from here? Well. Nalan Wuxia was suddenly tongue-tied because she couldn't tell others that Qin Haodong stole the sample out of here. Wang Jianfeng said, Director Lu. This is actually simple. We've got enough stones here. We can just collect a sample and run the test again. We'll handle it according to the law if the result was true, and if it's not, Captain Nalan and I will apologize to the Feng's group. Feng Tianda was much more confident when he had Lu Bingzhong by his side. He yelled, That's nonsense. What do you think the Feng's group is? Are you fooling us around? Your behavior now has dealt great damage to our group. You have to leave with your men now, and then apologize. Lu Bingzhong said with a sullen face, Yes. We've been stressed at that we should serve the enterprises. Look at what you've done now. You came here and arrested people without evidence. That's not how policemen behave. Now get out of here with your people and apologize to the Feng's group. Well. Wang Jianfeng was in a dilemma. He trusted in Qin Haodong from the bottom of his heart, or he wouldn't have brought so many people here and encircled the gemstone exhibition site. Now that Lu Bingzhong was his supervisor, he had no choice but to stop the operation. Lu Bingzhong grew more upset when he saw his subordinate didn't listen to him. He said coldly, Captain Wang, are you ignoring my order now? Don't forget you're a policeman. You must obey the order of your superior. Now do as what I've said. It was now even more difficult for Wang Jianfeng to decide. Everything they had done would be put in vain if he got away with his fellows, and there was little chance that they could solve the case in the future. But he couldn't resist it because Lu Bingzhong had ordered. Nalan Wuxia opened her mouth but she didn't speak out anything. She and her family weren't afraid of Lu Bingzhong at all, but his working class was much higher than hers, and plus, Wang Jianfeng was set in between them, and Nalan Wuxia couldn't make the decision for the captain because she was just the vice captain. Seeing that Lu Bingzhong had taken control of the whole situation, Feng Tianda looked proud. Meng Tai, who was standing behind him, felt such a relief, too. Director Lu, are you sure you want to favor the Feng family? It must be uneasy for you to reach the position you're in now, so don't make the wrong choice because it will be too late to regret. Said Qin Haodong. He had no choice but to stand out when seeing that both Wang Jianfeng and Nalan Wuxia were in an awkward position to speak. Lu Bingzhong frowned when he saw a young man in his 20s was talking to him in that tone. He asked, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" "My name is Qin Haodong, I am a doctor." Feng Tianda seized the opportunity and whispered to Lu Bingzhong at once, "Uncle Lu. He's a kept man of Lin Momo. He's the one making all the fuzz today." Lu Bingzhong looked directly at Qin Haodong and said coldly, "I'm the Deputy Director of the Public Security Bureau. You're in no position to tell me what to do." Qin Haodong shook his head and said, "You must know what's wrong or right as a Deputy Director, and you'll regret that you've favored the crimes." Lu Bingzhong yelled at Wang Jianfeng in a fury, the man was mixing right with wrong and slandering the Deputy Director. "I need you to arrest him right now, and deal with him sternly." He was really angry because the little young doctor was ignoring the big respectful director. He had to teach him a lesson. But just after he said that, somebody else said it out aloud, "What a fearsome bureaucratic card. Director Lu." He looked back and saw the leader of the Special Task Force, Fang Chuanxiong, walking inside. "Chief Fang, there you are." Lu Bingzhong walked towards in a hurry and greeted him. He might be the deputy director of the bureau of the city, but Fang Chuanxiong was here with the power assigned to him by the Department of Police. Fang Chuanxiong's position was even higher than that of the director of Jiangnan Public Security Bureau, not to mention the deputy director. He thought he had the highest position and could control everything, but the situation immediately changed as Fang Chuanxiong arrived. Fang Chuanxiong ignored Lu Bingzhong and spoke to Qin Haodong, "Brother Qin. You've helped me so much this time. I'll ask them to reward you after we finish this case." He said it earnestly. He was the leader of the special case team. The position was high and stressful. He was worried so much because he heard the information from the Golden Triangle that the drugs had already arrived in Huaxia, but he had no idea how to catch it at all. He felt overjoyed when he heard from Wang Jianfeng that Qin Haodong had found the drugs flowing into Jiangnan City. He set out here in a hurry, but was trapped in the traffic jam, and that was why he was late. Lu Bingzhong was dumbfounded. He knew Fang Chuanxiong clearly, a guy who's influential, powerful, and proud. He hasn't been very polite to the director since he was in Jiangnan City, but now it looked like he respected the young man so much. Did he just say that he was a doctor? What was happening? Qin Haodong said, "Brother Fang. I'll be arrested if you were here any later." He wouldn't mind taking the chance to rub Lu Bingzhong's nose on it considering how bureaucratic the man had just been. Fang Chuanxiong said, "Take it easy, Brother Qin. No one dares to touch you as long as I am here." After that he turned to Lu Bingzhong and asked, "Director Lu, were you at the meeting days ago? Now the criminal unit of Jiangnan City is under my charge. Why are you here giving orders?" "Well." Lu Bingzhong felt awkward, but he had to answer it anyway, "I felt that their procedure for handling the case is improper, so." Fang Chuanxiong interrupted him when he said that, "Director Lu, you said their procedures are improper. But is it proper that you intervene in the case?" "Well." Cold sweat was dripping off Lu Bingzhong's forehead. Fang Chuanxiong's position was much higher than his, and what was worse, he was the one breaking rules in the first place. "Forget about it. Let's call it today. I'll report to the supervisor later." Fang Chuanxiong turned to Wang Jianfeng and said, "Captain Wang, you can start the case." "Yes, sir." Wang Jianfeng answered loudly. The depression in his chest was long gone. Feng Tianda was dumbfounded when seeing the big support he invited here was stepped over. He wondered how the gigolo boy has met with a bigwig like Fong Chuanxiong. He looked at Lu Bingzhong again and was thinking about the next move, but Lu Bingzhong lowered his head and ignored him. He wasn't surprised because Lu Bingzhong was in a difficult position to save himself, not to mention the Feng's group. If Fong Chuanxiong, with his high position, really reported him to the supervisor, he might lose his job as the deputy director. Wang Jianfeng and Nalan Wuxia immediately started to arrest the workers as long as Fong Chuanxiong ordered. See, the game was as good as lost. Meng Tai yelled, "Stop, all of you. Or I'll blow all of you up." All eyes were caught by Meng Tai after he yelled. He unbuttoned his shirt and there were lots of explosive wrapped on his waist. He was holding a black remote control in his hand. Chapter 98. A Legendary Masochism. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Chapter 98. A legendary masochism. Everyone was shocked by what Meng Tai was doing, and all of them panicked. Although Feng Tianda was with Meng Tai all the time, he was also frightened to see so much explosive on Feng Tianda, so he rushed and hid to the side. Lu Bingzhong was sweaty all over. He was here to support the Feng family because he believed what Feng Tianda had said, and thought the Lin's group was suppressing the Feng's group today. However, what was happening now seemed not as simple as he thought. He started his career as a common policeman, thus he was experienced enough to realize that something was wrong. His face turned pale when thinking about what he just did. If it was really like what Qin Haodong had said, and there were drugs hidden inside those stones, the consequence would be more than he could bear. Those policemen, including Fong Chuanxiong, were also nervous. They thought they could accomplish the mission in one strike with so many policemen they had dispatched. What was happening now was completely out of their expectation. "Everyone, back off. No one get to shoot without my permission." Fong Chuanxiong now showed his excellent qualifications as a commander. He was in shock but not panicked. He arranged his fellows to retreat further, but not to cancel the encirclement. Meng Tai burst into arrogant laughter, then he said, "What now? Aren't you all afraid? I'll tell you what. I've got high-explosive bombs on my waist, and you don't need to hide, because we'll all be blown to heaven if I kick this button, no matter how far you escape." Fong Chuanxiong said, "You'll die with us then. That does no good to nobody. Now give me your remote, we can talk." Meng Tai laughed again and said, "You trying to fool me like a kid? I'll have no bargaining chip once I hand it to you. What the hell are you doing?" Fong Chuanxiong might seem relaxed, but he was quite worried inside. It would be nice if he could solve the case, but only if he could make sure his fellows would be safe, or too much death would make it meaningless. "I'm a very easy-going person, and I have 2 requests now. First, get me a helicopter and let my buddies leave. Second, give the gigolo boy, Qin Haodong, to me. He put my big brother in jail, I have to kill him today." That was when Qin Haodong down knew that the bearded young man was Meng Gang's younger brother. No wonder he looked familiar, because the two looked similar. Fong Chuanxiong's face looked so gloomy, like it was going to rain. What had happened was serious. He pondered for a second and said, "I'm okay with the first one, but we'll need a while to report it to our supervisor to get authority for helicopter. The second request is an absolute no. I couldn't possibly give Brother Qin to you." Nalan Wuxia felt relieved when she heard what he said. She would stand out against it immediately as long as Fong Chuanxiong took the second request into consideration. Qin Haodong nodded in silence. He wasn't concerned about Meng Tai much, actually, but Fong Chuanxiong seemed like a nice friend. "You don't really think I will hit the button, do you?" Meng Tai's face was distorted. He looked almost insane, and said, "My life's worthless and I'm okay if I can trade mine with yours. Now give the gigolo boy, or we'll die together." Feng Tianda was the closest to Meng Tai. If the button was hit, Meng Tai would die first and he would be the second. He was afraid of death all the time. He kept staring the flashing receivers on Meng Tai's waist and was scared out of himself. He said in a hurry, we can always negotiate, Brother Meng. Don't be impulsive. Meng Tai said, there's nothing to negotiate. My parents died when I was a kid, and my big brother brought me up. Now the gigolo boy puts him in jail. I have to kill him. Speaking of that, he yelled to Fong Chuanxiong, don't blame me for being unreasonable. I'll give you 1 minute to send the gigolo boy here, or we'll die together. Fong Tianda shouted on the other side, just give the gigolo boy to me, or we die together. Naylan Wuxia went to Fong Chuanxiong immediately and said, Chief Fong, Dr. Qin was here to help us. We couldn't give him away no matter what. Wang Jianfeng added, yes, Chief Fong. We have to make sure of Dr. Qin's safety. Lu Bingzhong said, the guy was nuts. What if he really presses the button if we don't give him what he wants? Too many people will be dead or injured. We're talking about more than 100 people. Naylan Wuxia said, it's useless to fear death because it's already too late. Let's perish together. Wang Jianfeng whispered, it's impossible that we give the man away. How about we try snipers? The mission this time was very well arranged. He had set snipers on Highlands before he came in case of emergency. Fong Chuanxiong shook his head and said, snipers won't work. They could blow up his head but nobody can be sure that he wouldn't press the button before he dies. That's too risky. Wang Jianfeng said, then what should we do? How about we take a risk? His bomb might be fake, and I'll be the first to arrest him. No, his bomb is true, said Qin Haodong. He did have felt a great threat from Meng Tai, so he was sure that the bombs at his waist were real packs. He said to Fong Chuanxiong and others, don't worry, since he wants me here, I'll go check. After that he turned back and walked to Meng Tai. Naylan Wuxia grabbed his arms and said, no, you'll die for nothing. Qin Haodong was so touched by the forcible policewoman. He smiled and said, take it easy. He may just need a nice chat with me. That's impossible. He'll definitely kill you once you're there. Naylan Wuxia said worriedly. He's just a small fish from Burma. He wasn't even qualified to kill me. Qin Haodong said as he pushed Naylan Wuxia away and strode toward Meng Tai. Big Beard, I'm here. He walked and greeted Meng Tai with a smile, like an old missing friend of his. Young man, you put my big brother in jail. I'll blow up your head today, or I'll be ashamed of who I am. After Meng Tai said with the remote in his left hand. His right hand took out a black pistol from the back waist, then he raised and pointed it to Qin Haodong's head. Everyone was tightened up immediately. Qin Haodong was only 4 or 5 meters away from Meng Tai. Even gods wouldn't be able to dodge the bullets within such a short distance. A trace of excitement flashed in Fong Tianda's eyes. He hated Qin Haodong so much that he was wishing Meng Tai to pull the trigger right now. Naylan Wuxia looked at Qin Haodong's back nervously. Her undulating chest showed how struggling she was inside. Qin Haodong was still smiling. He kept walking forward and said to Meng Tai with a smile, did your mom tell you not to play with guns? Give it to me right now. The nervous people around almost dropped their jaws when hearing he saying that. They wondered if he was nuts, because he asked Meng Tai to give him the gun that was pointed at his head. Fong Chuanxiong and others were also stupefied and wondered what Qin Haodong was doing. When everyone was thinking wildly about it, what happened next made them stupefied again. Meng Tai handed his gun to Qin Haodong as he ordered. Come on. What's going on? Wang Jianfeng rubbed his eyes hard and couldn't believe what he saw. Fong Tianda was dumbfounded. He thought Qin Haodong was crazy just now, and now he thought Meng Tai was the crazy one. Naylan Wuxia opened her mouth widely and looked at all that was happening with her widened eyes. She had no idea how Qin Haodong did it. Did he really know the big bearded guy? That was impossible. The hatred Meng Tai had shown was real. Qin Haodong took over the pistol and said to Meng Tai, and that remote, give it to me. After he said that, Meng Tai gave him the remote like an obedient baby. Qin Haodong took over the remote and put it on a piece of raw gemstone. Then he smashed it with the pistol. After he solved the threat of the bomb, he threw the pistol to Nalan Wuxia, and then he grabbed Meng Tai's beard, slapping loudly and heavily on his face. Bastard! Trying to play tough in Huaxiao. Pointing the pistol to my head. Trying to get back on me for your brother. The onlookers were dumbfounded because the scene was too weird. Meng Tai, who used to be so fierce, handed his pistol and then his remote. Now he was being beaten up like a dog. What a legendary masochism. Meng Tai woke up from the mind manipulating after the violent beat of Qin Haodong. He wanted to resist but there was no more chance. Fang Chuanxiong was the first to have realized it. He commanded loudly, "Arrest him, now." Wang Jianfeng and Nalan Wuxia took the lead and arrested Meng Tai's fellows, and those from the Feng's group, including Feng Tianda. Feng Tianda ended up in handcuffs after his strong struggle. He yelled to Lu Bingzhong, "Help! Uncle Lu!" Lu Bingzhong turned back and walked out of the exhibition site. What happened today was too severe, and he was sure he wouldn't be able to get away from this, too. His urgent now was to find a way for himself, and Feng Tianda would be the last to consider. Seeing that both Meng Tai and Feng Tianda be handcuffed, their fellows gave up resisting, too. All of them were taken into the patrol wagon. Nalan Wuxia walked to Qin Haodong. She looked deeply concerned and asked, "How are you? Are you okay?" Qin Haodong smiled and said, "I'm okay. But I didn't enjoy the slapping because his beards are too thick." Nalan Wuxia asked, "How did you do that? What are you talking about? Don't you know how to slap?" "That's not what I'm talking about. I'm asking how you let Meng Tai hand it over his pistol and the remote control." Qin Haodong didn't want to tell her about the mind manipulating, so he said with his cheeky smile, "I have no idea about that either. I asked for it and he gave it to me. Maybe it's because I am too handsome." "Save that crap." Nalan Wuxia didn't believe it, but she wouldn't ask any further because she could tell that Qin Haodong didn't want to say it. Fang Chuanxiong strode over and took Qin Haodong's hand. He said excitedly, "Brother Qin. You've been a great help today. I don't know how all this would end if you didn't deal with Meng Tai." Qin Haodong said, "It's fine. Just a piece of cake." He meant what he said. What happened today was nothing difficult for a cultivation artist. Everything had been settled. The raw gemstone exhibition site of the Feng's group had been sealed up. Wang Jianfeng had dispatched technicians here to pick up those fake raw gemstones synthesized by drugs. Nalan Wuxia stopped Qin Haodong as he was going to leave. "All problems are solved and you won't have the time to buy me dinner. Why are you pulling me? Come to the criminal unit and help us interrogate." Nalan Wuxia surely wouldn't let go of Qin Haodong. They'll be 10 times more effective with Qin Haodong there. Qin Haodong said, "Ma'am. My service was free but you can't just use it so wantonly." Nalan Wuxia said, "It's okay if you don't want to go, but you have to tell me the secret about how you let Meng Tai hand over the pistol." "Forget it, I will go with you. I'm the kind of citizen who likes to cooperate with the police." Qin Haodong went to the criminal unit with Nalan Wuxia. He was here mainly because he wanted to see if Feng Tianda was involved in the drug deal. The Feng's group would have to be uprooted if it was involved in drug deals, which would definitely be great news for the Lin's group. Chapter 99. The guest singer. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 99. The guest singer in the interrogation room of Jiangnan Criminal Unit. Feng Tianda, who used to be so decent, was cuffed on an iron chair, with Nalan Wuxia and Qin Haodong sitting in front of him. Qin Haodong smiled at Feng Tianda, and said, "Young master. Here we're again. It's been long since we met but we've never had a nice chat. Today is a great time for us to catch up. You Gigolo boy. You'll end up no good after all you've done to me, said Feng Tianda. Then he yelled at Nalan Wuxia, let go of me. I'm the young master of the Feng family. You can't do this to me. Nalan Wuxia pounded the table and warned, Feng Tianda, the Feng family will be uprooted from Jiangnan if the results showed you're involved in the case today. Stopping playing that young master card. Feng Tianda said with a little confusion, I don't know what case you are talking about. We're licensed businessmen, and we never go against the law. Meng Tai was from Burma, and I had no idea he had bombs on him. Nalan Wuxia said, even if Meng Tai had nothing to do with you, but the raw gemstones of the Feng's group contained a large amount of drugs, which according to the estimation of our technicians, will be more than 1,000 kilograms of its extracted. Do you have any idea what 1,000 kilograms mean? We're talking about heroin, not flour. Your family will die 1,000 times for it. What? What? That's impossible. It must be a witch hunt set by you and the Lin's group. How could the raw gemstones contain drugs? Feng Tianda was so scared that he was sweating all over. He stopped being so arrogant because he ain't no fool. He surely knew what the 1,000 kilograms of drugs Nalan Wuxia said meant in Huaxia. That's nonsense. Why are you still so stubborn? We're completely impartial in handling the case, and it has nothing to do with the Lin's group. Feng Tianda cried out in fear, that's unfair. That's so unfair to me. My family was too busy doing legal business, why would we have a touch on drugs? It's fair enough for the Feng's group. We'll make it clear. What's real will be real. What you have to do now is to cooperate with us to do the investigations. I'll do it, I'll do it. Feng Tianda nodded non-stop. Nalan Wuxia said, then tell us. What's going on with those raw jade gemstone? Where did the drugs come from? Feng Tianda said, actually, those stones were not ours in the first place. Nalan Wuxia frowned, and she said, Feng Tianda, you have to be clear that those raw jade gemstones were put in the Feng's group, and it's no use denying it. I'm not denying. You have to listen to me. Feng Tianda explained nervously, I admit that those raw jade gemstones were in the exhibition site of the Feng's group, but they didn't belong to us. 3 days ago, our business partner, Zhou Tianhu, called me. He's the boss of the Jade Gang. He told me that he had a batch of goods which need to transit shipment. He asked the Feng family for help and wanted me to cooperate. Once the mission completed, we would get an 80% discount on all the raw jade gemstone we imported from Burma in future. It costs the Feng's group $1 billion to import raw jade gemstones from Burma. We can save a lot if we get an 80% discount. It was not a big deal to lend them the exhibition site for transit, so I agreed. Soon those raw gemstones were transported from Burma to Jiangnan City in 2 batches, and was stored in the exhibition site of the Feng's group. Meng Tai arrived with those stones, and he has been in full charge of the stones. I wasn't allowed to take part. Nalan Wuxia asked, have you ever thought about it that there might be something wrong with the stones? Feng Tianda said with an innocent face, it has never come to me. I've been in the raw jade gemstone for so many years, and I've never heard that someone would hide drugs in it. Nalan Wuxia turned stern and said, Feng Tianda, what a smart way to distance oneself from for the case. Are you saying that the Feng's group has nothing to do with the drugs? Feng Tianda said, no, it doesn't. We've been deceived by Zhou Tianhu. Nalan Wuxia looked at Qin Haodong when she asked that, because she wasn't sure if Feng Tianda was telling the truth. Qin Haodong smiled at Feng Tianda and said, young master, aren't you the brother-in-law of Zhou Tianhu? Would he set you up? Feng Tianda felt so depressed when he thought of his crazy girlfriend Zhou Tsuetsue and those beautiful girls Qin Haodong had around him. He stared at Qin Haodong and remained silent. Qin Haodong stopped pushing Feng Tianda, and instead, he applied mind-bewitching and repeated those questions Nalan Wuxia just asked. He was actually a little disappointed because Feng Tianda gave out the same answer. The guy wasn't lying, he did have been set up by Zhou Tianhu. It turned out that the Jade Gang was the background manipulator of the huge drug case. Zhou Tianhu took the chance of the Feng's group's raw jade gemstone exhibition and transported the raw gemstones into Huaxiao, and he was looking for opportunities to sell them out. If that was true, the Feng's group might need to take part of the responsibilities, but not so much, at least not enough to destroy it. Qin Haodong was hoping for a bigger responsibility for Feng Tianda in this case, for the sake of the interests of the Lin's group and his personal feeling, but the situation had gone otherwise. He could definitely manipulate Feng Tianda and made a fake record, thus destroying the Feng family, but he didn't want to do it because he was the Emperor Greenwood. Later, he interrogated Meng Tai and a few other major criminals with Nalan Wuxiao. Their answers were almost the same as what Feng Tianda had said. Although the case didn't take down the Feng's group completely, but it was suspended. Lu Bingzhong lost his job as the deputy director. The incidents coming in succession really sapped the Feng family. Qin Haodong then left the criminal unit because it was the time for him to go to the finals of the Little Fellows singing contest. He couldn't possibly miss it. Lin Momo also took very seriously about the contest tonight. She had cancelled all her working schedules, preparing to go to the contest with Qin Haodong and the little fellow. They picked up Wang Jiani and arrived at Jiangnan Art Museum. When they got off the car, Qin Haodong found it surprising that Wang Hongbing and his family were waiting at the gate by coincidence. This time they looked different because he didn't have many bodyguards around, and instead, a man in big sunglasses and colorful clothes was standing beside him. Qin Haodong checked the man for a while, but he failed to tell it was a man or a woman. Qin Haodong smiled at Wang Hongbing and asked, "Mr. Wang, what's this for? Are you welcoming us with your whole family?" Wang Hongbing glanced at Lin Momo who looked decent and gorgeous, and looked at the little fellow in Qin Haodong's arms. He couldn't help envy the perfect family. He said, "Qin. Whatever your name is, I'm here to tell you that my son will be the winner today." Qin Haodong smiled and said, "Why are you so confident? Have you bribed the judges again?" "That's not necessary." Wang Hongbing pointed to the young man next to him, and said it proudly, "Check out who he is." All the onlookers' attention had been drawn to the young man after he said that. The young man looked proud and took off his sunglasses, revealing his fair face. Wang Jiani's expression changed drastically when she saw the man's face. Qin Haodong didn't know what was happening, so he asked Wang Hongbing, "What? Are you letting me guess if it's a she or a he?" "I'm sorry but I can't tell." The young man's expression changed and asked, "What are you talking about?" "I'm definitely a he." He said it angrily but in a quite sissy way. Wang Hongbing said, "Stop pretending. He's the big star from Jiangnan City, Chao Beibei. I don't believe that you don't know him." Qin Haodong wasn't pretending. He didn't even know Ouyang Shanshan. How could he possibly know Chao Beibei? He turned back to Lin Momo and Wang Jiani, and asked, "Who's Chao Beibei? Is he famous?" Lin Momo was too busy to care about the celebrities, but Wang Jiani knew enough about Chao Beibei, so she said, "He's famous. He was originated in Jiangnan and a few songs of his went viral last year. Now he's a second-rate singer in Huaxiao." Qin Haodong nodded slightly. He didn't mind it at all, because a second-rate star could barely arouse any of his interest. Wang Hongbing said, "See. Now you've seen how powerful the Wangs can be. The big star, Chao Beibei, will be my son's guest singer today. My son will never lose with his assistance. It's a dog-eat-dog world. I can afford 200,000 yuan to invite the guest singer for my son, while you cannot. You might have several bodyguards around, but the winner has to be my son's no matter how well your daughter sings, because you can't afford a guest singer." Wang Hongbing looked disdainful and walked into the venue with Chao Beibei and others. He thought Qin Haodong could never be his match for the Wang family, though he might have a bodyguard business. Lin Momo turned back and looked at Qin Haodong. What does that mean? A guest singer. She wasn't here in the contest last time, so she wasn't sure of the rules today. Wang Jiani explained the whole guest singer thing to Qin Haodong, and looked at him worriedly. Dr. Qin, it's getting difficult now. Qiao Beibei do have a reputation in Jiangnan City which may definitely influence the judgment. It's possible that Wang Guan might be the winner. Qin Haodong seemed he didn't care at all. He said, it's no big deal. It's just an effeminate man. Tang Tang would never fall to the second position as long as I am here. Lin Momo complained, why didn't you tell me earlier about this? The Lin's group knows quite a few first-rate star in the country. I could have called some here to be the little fellow's guest singer. Wang Jiani said, Dr. Qin, didn't you say that you'll find a guest singer for Tang Tang? Where is he? Qin Haodong smiled and said, no worries, I've arranged everything. The little fellow asked, Papa, who's the guest singer you found for me? It's a secret. You'll know it later, and you'll be surprised. Qin Haodong said it as he held the little fellow in his arms and went into the venue. Soon the contest started. There were 10 kids in the contest, and Wang Guan was the 9th to perform. The little fellow was the 10th. The audiences were very enthusiastic because of the guest singers. The first 8 kids all had their own guest singers invited by their parents. The actors were basically professional singers, but they are far less well-known than Qiao Beibei. The audiences screamed when Wang Guan and Qiao Beibei went on stage hand in hand. Above all, Qiao Beibei was quite welcomed in Jiangnan. Chapter 100. A Real Diva. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Chapter 100. A Real Diva. Gosh. Whose kid was he? They invited Qiao Beibei as the guest singer. He's so good at singing. Qiao Beibei, I am a huge fan. Qiao Beibei, I love you. The audiences were pushed to their best mood by Qiao Beibei's presence. Wang Hongbing looked at Qin Haodong. It looked like he couldn't be prouder. Qin Haodong shook his head in silence. The guy's gender might seem to be a secret, but it seemed his name was well-known. Qiao Beibei and Wang Guan sang Moms Are Always the Best together on the stage. Qiao Beibei was qualified for a professional singer. He was singing well and helped to cover the disadvantage of Wang Guan with his nice singing skills. When the song was finished, the applause thundered in the venue. The audiences, especially Qiao Beibei's fans, looked quite excited and couldn't stop screaming. As they had done performing, Qiao Beibei held Wang Guan's hand and waved his hand to his fans under the stage. He was acting like a real star. I already know the answer. The winners have to be Qiao Beibei and that kid. You tell me. Even Qiao Beibei is here. The judges would definitely made them winners if they weren't blind. There's a kid who will perform later and I heard she was really good at singing, but I guess it's meaningless if she will perform or not, because she can't never do it better than Qiao Beibei. Lin Momo and Wang Jiani turned sullen when they heard the discussion. They thought there was little chance that the little fellow could win. Qin Haodong, where's the guest singer you found for my daughter? Why am I not seeing him? Did you forget about it? Wang Jiani complained and added, how can you forget something so important? You've seen how helpful a guest singer can be. He could upgrade the quality of the program in so many levels, and may even affect the result of the contest. Qin Haodong smiled and said, don't worry, our daughter's show hasn't started yet. Wang Jiani realized it and said, yes. The last show is over. Why Tang Tang's show hasn't started yet? Did the host forget about it? The audience also went noisy. What's happening? I remember there's one more kid. Why hasn't she started yet? Ma Hong said with a proud face, they must have given up because they've seen my son's show and the judge's result. Wang Hongbing held Wang Guan and said proudly, that can't be. Our son is the winner, but they still have the second and the third position to fight for. The girl will get on the stage anyway. When everyone was puzzled, the host took the microphone and stepped onto the stage. He said to the audiences, "Don't worry. A mysterious guest singer will take part in the next show. We need to set up the stage, but it won't be long. We'll be ready soon." The audiences turned curious immediately after he said that. Chow Bei's presence today was already a surprise for everyone. Now that the host said there was another mysterious guest singer, they wonder who it was. Ma Hong snorted and said, "Don't try to make a big scene. Nobody can be a bigger star than Chow Bei." Wang Hongbing said, "That's right. The gigolo boy is no more than a leader of those bodyguards. He is such an upstart and has no way to invite big stars." Lin Momo looked at Qin Haodong with a puzzled look and said, "What mysterious guest singer? What did you do?" Qin Haodong smiled and answered, "Just wait for it. You'll know it soon. Don't try to make a big scene." Lin Momo rolled her eyes on him, and looked at the stage. At the same time the host announced, "Let's welcome player number 10 to go up on the stage." Qin Haodong kissed the little fellow's cheek and said, "Tang Tang, don't be nervous. You'll be the winner." The little fellow looked relaxed and said, "Papa, Mama, I'll do my best." After that, she went up on the stage. She was in a white princess costume today with a red hairpin. She looked like a princess coming out of a fairy tale. Her beautiful looks won her loud applause as soon as she was up on the stage. "She's cute, then what? She could never be the match of our son." Obviously, she envied the beautiful cute little fellow. That's right, she had no guest singer. She can't be the winner no matter how well she sings because she could never be better than Chow Bei. So our son will definitely be the winner. The light on the stage suddenly lit after Wang Hongbing said that. All the people's attention was caught by a curtain on the right side of the stage. They couldn't see what exactly was behind the curtain, but they could faintly tell that there was a piano inside, and a woman was sitting behind the piano. The woman was in good shape and wore long hair. Thought there was a curtain blocking in between, people could feel her elegance. Who is that? Is she the mysterious guest singer? Who is she? She looks so beautiful. Nonsense, you didn't even see his face. How can you tell? But she's definitely dominating the show. Lin Momo said to Qin Haodong, "Is she the guest singer you found for my daughter?" Qin Haodong smiled and said, "Yes, she is. I couldn't possibly forget Tang Tang's contest, it's too important for me." Wang Jiani asked, "Who is she? She sounds familiar." "Don't worry. I told you she was the mysterious guest, and she wouldn't be if I tell you who she is now." After Qin Haodong said that, the show started. The little fellow held the microphone and said, "I am player number 10, Tang Tang. My show today is named Before the Flowers and Under the Moon." It must have taken the little girl a lot of courage to sing one of Ouyang Shanshan's song. That's Ouyang Shanshan's song. I like it so much, but I'm not sure the little princess can sing it well. The woman behind the curtain started to play after Tang Tang said that. The melody was flowing, which was exactly the prelude of Before the Flowers and Under the Moon. The little fellow sang happily. Her voice was sweet and her rhythms were perfect. The audiences started to applaud soon after she started to sing. Wang Jiani admired the show and said, "Tang Tang was really talented. She could sing this song so well in such a young age. It's really hard. But she was a little bit young and doesn't have the mature appeal of the original singer of the song." Qin Haodong said, "Don't worry. We still have the guest singer." At this moment, a beautiful voice came behind the curtain. The voice sounded perfect with the little fellows. It was like voice of an angel, with fully mature appeal. The voice made up for the defects Wang Jiani just said. "Gosh! That's beautiful." Wang Jiani opened her mouth widely. After moments of hesitation, she pulled Qin Haodong and asked, "Who is she? How could she sing so well? Almost as good as Ouyang Shanshan." Other audiences burst into amazed cheers and they were as surprised as Wang Jiani with the singing of the guest singer. Ma Hong whispered to Wang Hongbing, "Looks like the gigolo boy and found his guest singer, and a good one. I feel our son's position is endangered." Wang Hongbing said, "There's nothing to worry about. Singing skills are of no use here. What matters is how famous this person is. Can she be more famous than Star Chow?" "You are right, reputation matters most. Some of the judges here are fans of Chow Bebe, and they'll definitely give us high score." Ma Hong nodded. She couldn't agree more with Wang Hongbing, but she didn't notice Chow Bebe, who was looking at the singer on the stage. He looked totally dumbfounded. The adult and the kid on the stage were singing better and better. They were cooperating with each other so well. When it came to the first refrain of the song, the mysterious guest stood up from the chair. She raised her fair arms and pulled the curtain. Then she went up on the stage with the microphone. When she pulled the curtain and showed herself, the audience went total silence at first, then all of them stood up, screaming and cheering. Ouyang Shanshan. Gosh! My idol! Finally I get to see her. My heart is jumping off my throat. I'm going to go crazy. It's really Ouyang Shanshan. I told you no one could sing this song better than her. Ouyang Shanshan, I love you, I love you. Audience's mood in the big contest hall soared to the ceiling. All the audiences went crazy for Ouyang Shanshan. Wang Jiani grabbed Qin Haodong's arm. Her nails was in his flesh and she looked so excited. She said, "It's really Ouyang Shanshan. How did you do this? No wonder you don't need me to find a guest singer for Tang Tang. Nobody can do this better than Ouyang Shanshan." Lin Momo might not be one of those fans, but she knew well of Ouyang Shanshan's reputation. She had been surprised by those signatures Qin Haodong had last time, but she was even more surprised to see Qin Haodong had invited Ouyang Shanshan here today. Ouyang Shanshan was one of the most popular stars in Huaxia, and a recognized diva. She was much too high level than Chow Bebe. A big star like her would never attend any events she didn't like no matter how much she was paid. Nobody knew how Qin Haodong did it. The calmest one in the hall was Qin Haodong. She called Ouyang Shanshan immediately after he knew the little fellow needed a guest singer. Ouyang Shanshan treated Qin Haodong as her benefactor. She would never refuse him for a little favor like that. She came here in joy. Wang Hongbing and Ma Hong were completely dumbfounded. They had used all kinds of connection and paid 200,000 yuan for Chow Bebe. Or he wouldn't be here to a guest singer for a kid. They thought the high cost would definitely bring Wang Guan to the first position in the contest. But Ouyang Shanshan, the diva, just came out and smashed all their fantasies. The audiences went crazy, but that carried little influence on the two on the stage. The little fellow was excited when she saw Ouyang Shanshan in the first place. Later she tried harder singing. The two beauties, the adult and the kid, performed the best of the song. When they finished singing, the cheers of the audiences were overwhelming. Audiences under the stage rushed up the stage like crazy because they wanted to take a photo with Ouyang Shanshan. Even Chow Bebe, who was sitting next to Wang Hongbing, rushed over. Fortunately, the organizers had fully prepared for this. Dozens of bodyguards stood on the stage like a wall, trying to protect Ouyang Shanshan. Soldier King Chen Fugue and another 8-level bodyguards encircled Ouyang Shanshan and the little fellow in the middle. "Please calm down, everybody. The contest is not over yet, please take your own seats." Audiences finally calmed down after the guidance and comforting of the host. But they were still looking at Ouyang Shanshan with their excited eyes. They went back to their own seats and tried to score the final score.